Now starting off with essay 210. Essay 210 is agreeing the terms of audit engagement. Before this, we were talking about all other types of engagement as well as a firm can do. Audit was a part of engagement. That's it. But this is essay 210, that is standards on auditing. So this is specific for audit again. Please structure your head accordingly. Come inside audit again. Here they are talking about agreeing the terms of audit engagement. That is, before you enter into an audit engagement, is there any terms that you have to do this, I have to do this, like that? Are you agreeing to any terms? Now for this standard, I already showed you that there are only 4 Roman numbers here. The first one is objective. Second, letter, what kind of love letter they are writing to each other. Third is the cases, that is case study based questions they can ask from either of these 4 cases. And the last part is recurring audit. Is that clear? Again, go through the mind mapping. Objective of the standard, EL, cases and recurring audit. Once we finish all these 4, the standard itself is over. Essay 210 deals with auditor's responsibility in agreeing the terms of audit engagement with the management and where appropriate, those charged with governance. What are they saying? This essay 210 is talking about the terms between 2 people. That is, on one side there is the auditor and on the other side there is either the management or TCWG, those charged with governance. Now, who are these people who are charged with governance? Who are those charged with governance? Now in your life, who is charged with governance in your life? Parents. They have the ultimate control of your life. Same way for the company also, the control will be with few top management people. They will be the board of directors, CEO, CFO, the white collar people. They will not be involved in the day-to-day activities of the company, but they will give the direction for the future of the company. Is that clear? Based on the direction of the operational level in the company, everybody will be running towards that direction. Direction is given by whom? TCWG. Those charged with governance will set the direction. They will not be involved in day-to-day activities of the company. Will director come to office every day? He will think about business development, expansion plans and all of those things. Day-to-day operations, what revenue is it today? What purchases was made today? He is not bothered of all of. Monthly reporting you do for me. I will just see to that if it is going in the exact direction I wanted to go. That's it. So you understood who is management, who is TCWG. Now this standard is for auditor's responsibility when he is agreeing to do the audit with the management or with TCWG. Is that clear? Now, objective of the auditor. Accept or continue an audit engagement. Now wait here. Everywhere, what do we see? Accept or? Everywhere you see accept or continue. You see accept or reject. You see accept or reject everywhere. You either accept, you say yes sir, or you say no to that boy. What is this accept or continue which is given in the standard? Please mark that. The wordings uses accept or continue and not accept or reject. Why are they using these wordings? Now, yesterday itself I told you when an auditor is appointed, he can be appointed for how many years? For 5 years. So, if he is a new auditor, that auditor will be accepting the engagement. Say in the second year, that engagement letter is renewed. At that time, he is continuing the engagement. So, here this essay 210 is a positive, no rejection, no. They are only talking about acceptance or continuing. If you are a new auditor, you accept. If you are an existing auditor already for the company, you will be continuing the audit engagement. Only when the basis upon which audit is to be performed has been agreed. When will you accept or continue? Only when the basis upon which the audit will be performed has been agreed. That means how you are going to conduct the audit is agreed with the management and TCWG. For that, we have something called as preconditions. Establishing whether preconditions for an audit is present. Precondition means before getting into any kind of engagement, they already know that definitely this person would have done it. Say for example, as soon as you wake up, what do? Scroll the phone. It is a precondition. Nobody tells you to do it. Automatically you do it. Before coming to class, everybody brushes their teeth. Everybody. I should not be asking you. I should be asking your neighbors. They will only know yes or no. So it is a precondition. It is a said given rule. Like that, when they get into an audit engagement also, between the management and auditor, there are few preconditions. You don't have to explicitly mention it. They will anyway do it. Like that. So, establishing whether preconditions for an audit are present. Confirming that there is a common understanding between auditor and management where appropriate ECWG of the terms of audit engagement. Now, what are the preconditions? Now, who has to prepare and present the financial statements? Management. You all are chartered accountants. You are going to the management. You are asking him, sir, you only have to prepare and present the financial statements. Please give me the financial statements so that I can give my opinion accordingly. He also threw the financial statements on your face. You are reading the financial statements. It is prepared as per US GAAP. Will you understand anything? No. So it is a precondition that he has to follow only accounting standard or maximum Ind AS. He can follow that and prepare that presentation. Yes or no? That is the first one. For the preparation in the financial statement in accordance with applicable financial reporting framework. Is that clear? Yesterday I told you what is the meaning of internal control. Now, internal controls will be set at various levels in the enterprise, in the company that you are going for audit. Internal controls will also be set for the accounting process. One person is basically keying in that entry, that journal entry. Now, who is that person who is keying in? The management will have an internal control saying the person who is keying in should be different from the person who is approving this entry. So, maker checker concept. The person who is making should be different from the person who is checking. Otherwise, what is the use of checking again? Like that, they will have multiple internal controls. Now, the person who is seeing the P&L and balance sheet, he might make a few changes to the system. Should he be allowed to make few changes in the system? No. Once P&L and balance sheet is prepared by the system, nobody should be able to touch it. So, is that an internal control? Yes. There are multiple thousands, lakhs and crores of internal controls will actually be there by the management for the management. That is rules set framed by the management for the management. Now, for such internal control, as management considers necessary to enable the preparation of financial statements that are free from material misstatement, whether due to fraud or error. That means for making of this financial reporting, there will be multiple internal controls, whether these internal controls are proper. That is a precondition for your audit. What is the first precondition we saw? That the preparation of the financial statements are in accordance with AFRF. The second one is with regard to the internal controls for the preparation of the financial statements, whether it is proper, whether it is able to detect the fraud or error. Third one. Now, in any kind of relationship, you think of boyfriend, girlfriend, or husband and wife, or audit and client, any kind of relationship. For two people to work together or for two people to live together, there needs to be free flow of communication. Yes or no? Free flow of communication must be there. You would have seen when boyfriend, girlfriend are there, girlfriend will know boyfriend's password. Boyfriend will know girlfriend's password. Yes or no? When that free flow of communication is there only, that relationship smoothly it will keep going forward. Otherwise, what will happen? Maybe for 6 months it will be fine. In the 7th month, oh, why you are having the password? Why you are not telling me after 6 months also? Like that, unnecessary thoughts and all will start coming. So, free flow of communication must be there in any kind of relationship. That is, access to all information for the auditor of the client must be there. If you want any other additional information also, nowadays, one person is having 3-4 girlfriends, correct? Not at the same time. One will come, break up, another will come, break up, another will come, few months, again break up. This is the past trend, yes or no? Why you all are looking at me as if I am saying something new? I am saying what is happening. Yes or no? Yes or no? You are saying in this class, no one has gone through breakup, huh? We don't have boyfriend, girlfriend itself, ma'am. Why you are reminding this every single day? That is the past trend. Now, you are having some information. Now, girl wants additional information. She is asking, who is your past? Can I meet her? Why you have to meet her? I want to take our relationship to next level. So I want to meet her. I want to understand her side of story. All these nonsense thing you are doing. So access to additional information, unrestricted access to all the persons in their life also you want. So that free flow of communication will be there. Actually, if we have like this, relationship will cut. What is in the past should be in the past only. Why unnecessarily bring that back to present? Not required. Now, access to all information, access to additional information, and unrestricted access to persons. Now, we are in audit. As an auditor, when we go for audit, we are expected to get all the information from the management. If we ask for any additional information, we are expected to again get the information from the management. If we ask for any unrestricted access to persons, they can't say, no, get out. They are supposed to show us, okay, this is the person who is responsible for cash. This is the person who is responsible for bank. Formally, they will introduce us. Then we can drill that person also. Access to information from that person. So all of these are preconditions, that is unsaid rules, which must be present even before you start the audit. Is that clear? Read through the text. Establishing whether preconditions for an audit is present. Confirm that there is common understanding between auditor and management, and where appropriate TCWG of the terms of audit engagement. Some couples will be there. You be you, I be me. You don't ask for password. I also will not ask for your password. Like that also couples are there nowadays. But if there is a common understanding between them, no problem. It works for them. That's it. Live in relationship. Who all are against it? No one. Who all for it? No one will raise the hand. I know. Hey, what's wrong? If two people are okay, let them be. Who are we to question them? If it is not suitable for you, you don't get into it. No one is forcing. But don't judge other people. They have some kind of common understanding. Then we should not have any problem. So confirming that there is a common understanding between the auditor and the management for such internal control, which is enabling for the preparation of financial statements, specifically for accounting related internal controls, whether it is operating properly. Access to all the information, access to any additional information, and unrestricted access to persons also. Is that clear? This is the preconditions, objective of the auditor. What is engagement letter? What is this love letter that they are going to write to each other? Before getting into any kind of relationship, it is better to say, this is your responsibilities. This is my responsibilities. So that in the future, I am not saying fights will not come. Fights will come. Maybe it will reduce. That's all. So, when audit and client, both two different people, two different individuals, they are coming together. The next 3-4 months, they are going to travel together. Means it is better to have everything in writing. Saying, these are your responsibilities. This is my responsibilities. Preparation, presentation of financial statement, responsibility of management. Keep that in writing. You said that 10 times in class. He should also know that. So put it in writing. Make him sign. What is your responsibility? To give the opinion within the specified time limit. So he should be safe so that he can file his returns. Put that in writing. Before this date, I will complete my audit. What is your fees that you want? 10 lakh rupees, you quoted your fees. After seeing revenue, after seeing so much of fraud happening, can you increase the fees? No. Fees. Once you say 10 lakhs, after seeing, okay, this is a golden duck, I can take more from him. No, you cannot simply change the fees like that. If there is really a peculiarity which is not noticed at the time of making engagement, then yes, you can make an amendment to EL. But simply and all, you cannot change. I'll tell you one small example. There was one therapist in Mind and Company. I don't want to tell the name. She charges 3,000 rupees per hour. Most senior therapist. So there was this person, the producer of the show, we came in Startup Singham, correct? He wanted to take the therapy session. So we told, okay, this is senior most therapist, you can go to her. She normally charges 3,000 rupees. She understood all of his stories, everything. Then she told us, this is a very peculiar case. I need to put lot of effort for him. So I am charging 25,000 rupees per hour. We were shocked. 25,000 rupees per hour. I'm not even joking. We ourselves have not heard about this much money per hour. We didn't know how to tell this person also. If we fire her also, we didn't know how to tell him. Money from him is pending for us. Somehow we managed, we threw her out of the company. We told some personal problem for her. She stopped taking therapy sessions itself. You please go to some other therapist. Like that, you should not be. Don't change the terms after knowing about that person. Once fixed, that is fixed. That's why it's better to have a engagement letter so that both of them are aware. This is only the fees. This is only your responsibility. This is only my responsibility. Like that, both of them are aware. Now, you tell me who prepares this engagement letter? The management prepares, or auditor prepares, or both prepares, or no one prepares, some third person prepares. The auditor prepares. Who are all are saying management prepares? Auditor prepares. Both prepares. Management prepares. None prepares. Third party prepares. The correct answer is, I already told you. In your life, at least once, especially in the first year, you will be preparing multiple engagement letters. For whom? For management, you should be preparing. Huh? For auditor only you are working. Always the auditor will be preparing the engagement letter. By the auditor, it will be sent to the client. Please make note of it. Multiple times students make mistake here. Auditor will be preparing the engagement letter and he will be sending it to the client. Okay, can I have this scenario? Sir, let's have a meeting at 2 p.m. Let's talk about the engagement letter. They're having a oral discussion. Okay, this is your responsibility, this is my responsibility. What is the purpose of the engagement letter? To basically show that both of this is responsibilities. Both of them understood. They gave a tight handshake. Okay, let's start the work. And they left the place. Orally, they have understood each of their responsibilities. There is no confusions between them. Is that okay? No. Engagement letter means must be in writing only. Orally acceptance. Even if you understand now, tomorrow you can twist the words. So put it in writing. Make them sign. Only then it is final. So here it must be reduced to writing and should exactly specify the scope of the work also. The engagement letter sent by whom? By the auditor to the client. Now, you are saying, okay, engagement letter to safeguard our interest and all of those things. For whom are we preparing the engagement letter? Is it only for auditor or is it only for client? Obviously, if it is only for client, auditor will not be preparing. Or is it for both the people? It is for both auditor and the client's interest that engagement letter has to be prepared. It is the interest of both the auditor and the client to issue the engagement letter so that possibility of misunderstanding is reduced. That does not mean misunderstanding itself will not happen. I told you, if two people come together, even if free flow of communication is there, fights will definitely happen because two different people. So fights will definitely happen. Here also misunderstandings will reduce. They are not saying it will vanish. Now, what and all must be there in the engagement letter? Engagement letter includes. Includes means this is not an exhaustive list. It is only a inclusive list. Apart from this, other things also will be there in engagement letter. Objective and scope of the audit of financial statements. Responsibility of auditor, responsibility of management. Identification of AFRF. I told you an example. He prepared the financial statements as per US GAAP. What if holding company is in US and he has to prepare as per US GAAP? So you identify it during the engagement letter process itself so that the auditor will be prepared when he is receiving it. So identification of the applicable financial reporting framework for the preparation of financial statements. Reference to the expected form and content of any report to be issued by the auditor and a statement that there may be circumstances in which a report may differ from its expected form and content. That means when the auditor is giving the report, what kind of a report is he going to give? What are the contents of that report? That also you tell now itself. Is that clear? How many points are there? 5 points are there. The first one is objective and scope of audit, responsibility of auditor, responsibility of management, identification of applicable financial reporting framework, reference of the expected form and content of the audit report, the report which is given by the auditor. That is 5 points. This is the inclusive list. Apart from this, signature of this person, signature of that person, membership number of the auditor, everything will be there in the engagement letter. Now sometimes, because of regulation, because of law, a chartered accountant will be appointed as the auditor of a company. Now, what is the difference between chartered accountant and auditor? In India, we use it interchangeably. Yes, our auditor. We use it interchangeably, but is it the same? No, an auditor must be a chartered accountant. A chartered accountant need not be an auditor. For example, I am a chartered accountant, but I am not appointed as auditor for any company. I am just a chartered accountant. I am not an auditor. But an auditor who is appointed must definitely be a CA, a chartered accountant. Are you able to understand the difference? Now, from now, don't use it interchangeably. Say you want to learn to become a chartered accountant. Don't say you want to learn to become an auditor. Because if you want to get into practice only, you will be an auditor. Otherwise, you will not be appointed as auditor. Now, in some cases, there will be a regulation or there will be a law for a chartered accountant to be appointed as the auditor of government company. In that case, the law itself will be specifying what is the terms of engagement. Is that clear? The law itself will be saying what is the terms of engagement. In that case, is an engagement letter required? No, because law is the master. Law is like the mother, like how I said ICA is mother. Law is the mother. Apart from law, we will not be going anywhere else. If law itself is saying this is only the terms, then why should we again say, if law is saying that this is the terms and you are appointed as chartered accountant, as our duty, we will be seeing whether the client has understood whatever the law has said. If he has not understood, then for the safety of the auditor, then he will be making the engagement letter. Is that clear? Now read the last one, which is given in bold. If law or regulation prescribes in detail the terms of audit engagement, the auditor need not record them in a written agreement except for the fact that such law or regulation applies and management acknowledges and understands its responsibilities. If it does not understand the responsibility, then you can put it in writing. Is that clear? Now, engagement letter includes objective and scope of audit of financial statements, responsibility of auditor, responsibility of management, identification of the AFRF and reference to the form and content of the report. If law or regulation specifies the terms of the engagement, then it is not necessary to be reduced to writing. However, if the auditor feels that the management does not understand his duties, then it can be given in writing. Is that clear? Yes? Can I move forward? Before going to the cases, let's keep our basis very, very strong. First, we saw objectives and engagement letter. What did we see in objective of the auditor? No. The objective of the auditor is to accept or continue. Then only you go to preconditions. Accept or continue an audit engagement only when the basis upon which the audit has been performed has been agreed. How? Through establishing whether preconditions are present. To confirming whether there is a common understanding. Now, for what do you require the preconditions and the common understanding? For these 3 points. For the preparation in the financial statements, whether it is in accordance with applicable financial reporting framework, whether internal controls for the preparation of financial statements, whether it is operating effectively, to provide the auditor with access to information, access to additional information, and unrestricted access to all the people. I want all of you all to tell here. First one, what is the objective of the auditor? Accept or continue an audit engagement. For what? Establishing whether preconditions are present, confirming that there is a common understanding between auditor and management, and then for the preparation of financial statements with this as per applicable financial reporting framework. Second, internal control for the preparation of financial reporting and provide access to all information, additional information and access to unrestricted access to persons. Is that clear? Then we went to engagement letter. Who will prepare the engagement letter? Auditor. To whom will he give the engagement letter? To the client. Whether it should be orally or in written format. It should always be in written format only. Only in one case, engagement letter, it is okay even if you don't prepare. What is that case? If law or regulation prescribes the term of the engagement, in that case you don't have to reduce it in writing. What and all does it include? Objective and scope of audit, responsibility of auditor, responsibility of management, identification of applicable financial reporting framework and reference to the expected form and content of the report given by auditor. Are you all clear? Can I go to the cases? Now in this May 25 attempt only, they had asked preconditions for audit. Direct question. They have asked this. If you write all of these points, full marks. Direct question they had asked. What are the preconditions for the auditor before getting into the engagement? But I always expect questions from these cases because case study based questions can be easily framed here. Now let me talk about these cases. I told you before getting into any kind of engagement, any kind of relationship, there are few preconditions which should always be present. In case if the preconditions are not present, what should the auditor do? That is the first case. What happens if preconditions are not present? Now, as soon as preconditions are not present, don't reject that engagement. Who is the mother? The law and regulation is the mother. See if law is asking you to accept this engagement. See here, the first one is case number 1. Please take running notes. Extremely important, these 4 cases. What is the first one? The preconditions are not present. If preconditions are present, then you will be accepting the engagement. Yes or no? Yes. No problem. If it is not present, directly don't go for rejection. See whether it is required by law. If it is required by law, you will be accepting. If it is not required by law, you will be rejecting. Is that clear? So whenever they ask you a case study saying preconditions are not there, don't say if preconditions are not there, I will not even be accepting the engagement. You will have to say if it is required by law, I will accept the engagement. If it is not required by law and if preconditions are not there, then I will be rejecting the engagement. Is that clear? The auditor shall discuss the matter with the management first. Unless required by law or regulation to do so, the auditor shall not accept the proposed audit engagement. These two are what are preconditions. Just read through it. If the auditor has determined that the financial reporting framework to be applied in the financial statements is unacceptable, precondition is not met. Yes, the financial statement, the financial reporting framework has to be in an acceptable way. If it is unacceptable, precondition is not there. If the agreement of management is not obtained on matters relating to understanding of responsibilities with regard to preparation of financial statements, internal control, providing access to all information and unrestricted access to people, it is not obtained, then preconditions are not there. These two are points saying preconditions are not there. First you have to discuss with the management and TCWG, then see whether it is required by law or regulation. If it is required by law or regulation, you will be accepting the engagement. If it is not required by law or regulation, you will be rejecting the engagement. Is that clear? Now, there is a movie reviewer. You know, nowadays, producers and directors of the movie, they call the reviewers to watch the movie and then give the honest review. You know, this thing happens first day or maybe one day before the first day itself. For preview show or special show, they will host all these reviewers and they'll make them watch the movie. You give your honest review, no problem. Like that, they will call them and tell. Now, in that movie, say the climax is worst, very bad climax. So what they did, last 20 minutes, they cut it. Over. Movie is over before the climax itself. They just turn the lights on, turn the TV off, over, you go home and put the review. Now the reviewers are all confused. How I'll put the review without seeing the climax of the movie? Now they are all asking, no sir, we'll wait. 20 more minutes or 30 more minutes is there, we'll watch it. Then only we'll be able to put the review. Now the director is saying, no, no, no. This much only I can give you the information. With whatever information you have, you put the review. Till now movie is good. Yes, movie is good. Then you put the movie as movie is good only. Put that review. Now reviewer is shocked. How he will put the review? Like that. When you know that you're not going to get the information, limitation on scope of auditor's work. You know before itself you will not be able to do justice to your work. The reviewer, will he be able to do justice to his work if he's not watched the last 20-30 minutes? Like that, before itself you know that you are not going to do justice to your work. You know that you are going to give a disclaimer of opinion. A disclaimer of opinion will be given when there is no sufficient and appropriate audit evidence. Sufficient appropriate audit evidence means proof. Evidence is proof. You are not able to get the proof from the client. You know that before itself you will not be able to get the proof from the client. If you know it before itself, then why should you enter into that engagement? The auditor shall not accept a limited engagement. First itself he will not accept. They are using this terminology, disclaiming an opinion, to show that sufficient appropriate audit evidence is not there, because you will be giving a disclaimer of opinion only when there is no sufficient appropriate audit evidence. If the auditor believes that the limitation of his scope will result in the auditor disclaiming an opinion, that means he knows when he is getting into the engagement itself, this limitation which is imposed by the client will make the auditor believe that the proof is either not valid or proof is not given properly, not given appropriately. If he knows before itself, then do not accept this limited engagement. This is case number 2. Case number 2 is talking about limitation on scope of auditor's work prior to acceptance of audit engagement. What is the first case we saw? If preconditions itself is not present. Case number 2 is even before you enter into the engagement, the auditor knows that his scope is going to be limited, and because of that he has to give a disclaimer of opinion. That means audit evidence is not going to be there. Then in that case, he will not even enter the engagement. Is that clear? Going to case number 3. Who and all watches Big Boss? That's it. Nobody else will see Big Boss. No, nothing to be ashamed of. Every house is actually like Big Boss house only. Yes or no? Correct or not? Those fights happen only there or what? Every house, it is like Big Boss house. Now, there was a house. Newly married couple. They had these preconditions very, very clear in writing. They signed. Everything is done. And they have gotten married and they have entered the house. Now, let me tell you what is there in the engagement letter for this boyfriend, girlfriend, now husband and wife. Now, cooking department is taken by girl. Vessel washing team is taken by boy. Clear? You do the cooking, I do the vessel washing. Now one more team is there. Cleaning team. Every alternate days. Clear? Easy engagement letter. Yes. Now both are working. Boy also is working. Girl also is working. So both will do household work. What is wrong in that? You do cooking, I do cleaning, I do vessel washing. Like that they have split the teams and they have entered into this engagement. Now after becoming husband and wife cooked. She put the vessels for wash. Husband is not washing. She is asking, hey, you signed the engagement letter. It is your duty to wash the vessels. He said, yes, it is my duty. I am accepting now also. I will do it when I feel like it. Now she is saying, no, I have to cook for the next meal. I have to prep for the next meal. I need the vessels. If you need the vessels, what can I do? I signed saying I'll wash the vessels. Now also I'm promising and saying I will promise I will wash the vessels. But you don't tell me when I should wash the vessels. He is changing. Now, what is happening here? Preconditions, they had it. Engagement letter also they had it. But after some time, there is change in the terms of audit engagement. Can it happen? Yes, it will always happen. Are we all doing whatever we say? 100%. I am Harichandran. If I say something, I will definitely do it. No one is like that. Yes or no? There will be changes in the terms of audit engagement. Now, in this case, you all be in the shoes of the wife. Think of her, how pavam she is. She believed in that letter. She believed in that stupid signature that he put there. Now also he is saying, yes, I will do the vessel washing. Now she is waiting and waiting. Dinner time came. She waited and waited. Next morning also came. House started stinking. He is not caring. What she'll do? She should start washing the vessels. Now engagement is changed. Will she do it? You said she should wash the vessels. Girls, are you feeling she should wash the vessels? No. No. How? He accepted. How can I wash the vessels? You are feeling like that or not? Then at least you ask him to do the cooking. I will go for vessel washing team. No problem. Do we have problem like that? No. We will move to vessel washing team. You come to cooking team. No problem. But cooking also you should only do. Vessel washing also you should only do. Cleaning also you should only do. Means I will be housewife. No. You should go work also. Everything you should do, na? How is it possible? It is not humanly possible. Then what you should do? What you will do? What? Divorce. So fast. So fast. Break up. Divorce. Get lost. Hey, you can't wash the vessels. I will divorce you. How? In court of law. To go and tell in front of the judge what is the problem. He is not washing the vessel. How the judge will look at you? Simply don't go for all these things. First thing you should ask is reasonable justification. Now, the boy is saying, listen here, I have 1 or 2 degrees fever. That is the reason why I said I will not be able to wash the vessels now. Didn't I promise? I will definitely wash the vessels. But you said now itself I have to wash the vessels. How it's possible? I have 1 or 2 degrees fever. Now you will go for divorce? Cha, இது முன்னாடியே சொல்லிருக்க கூடாது. Why you are making me feel like this? Now guilty. Yes or no? So immediately don't withdraw or reject the idea. You first see if there is any kind of reasonable justification because of change in terms of audit engagement. If there is a reasonable justification, then what you will do? You will accept. But he is saying, fever, yanaka. Simply I told. You believed. Simply I told. Then I'll say everyday fever, 365 days fever. Now this is toxic behavior. He is changing his words. No. Now is the time for divorce. Now you can tell the judge. One day he's telling like this, tomorrow he's telling like this, then he's saying fever, then he's saying no fever. I will become mental if I'm with him. So if there is no reasonable justification, then you have to reject. Is that clear? The first one you will be seeing is, now we are in case number 3. Whenever there is change in terms, you have to look for what? Reasonable justification. Directly don't go for divorce. You first ask him. Now reasonable justification is there. Then accept. If too much toxic behavior means no point of being there, just reject. Is that clear? Yes? Now, what is this reasonable justification? Okay, 1 or 2 degrees is reasonable justification. He is saying fever, but he is saying 99 degrees. Is this even fever? It is not even fever. Like that, you have to determine what is this reasonable justification that we are talking about. If there is a change in circumstances, he is saying, I washed the vessels newly. After marrying only, I started washing vessels. In my mother's house, I never did all these duties. But it's okay. I am doing with my own will. I wash the vessels. See my hands. Full allergy. That Vim bar or whatever it is making my hand so allergic. He is giving a reasonable justification. Yes or no? Yes. So that is a change in circumstance. Now, if there is change in circumstance, then you will accept for the engagement. Or he did not understand that vessel washing must be done 3 times a day. In his head, he accepted, he's a very good boy. He understood he has to be in vessel washing team. He is doing the vessel washing. But in his head, he thought vessel washing will be done once a week. He misunderstood. If there is a genuine misunderstanding of the case, then also there can be a change in terms of audit engagement. Is that clear? Yes. The auditor shall not accept where there is no reasonable justification in doing so. What is this reasonable justification? If there is a change in circumstance that is affecting the entity's requirement, or a misunderstanding concerning the nature of the service which is originally requested, may be considered as a reasonable basis for requesting a change in audit engagement. Is that clear, guys? What is the first case we saw? What happens if preconditions are not present? If preconditions is present, very easy, you will be accepting the engagement. If preconditions are not present, you will be checking whether it is required by law. If it is required by law, you will go for accepting the engagement. If it is not required by law, then you will reject the engagement. In case number 2, there is a limitation imposed on the scope of work of the auditor, where the auditor knows if he accepts this engagement, he is going to give a disclaimer of opinion. That means there is not going to be any sufficient appropriate audit evidence. In that case, what should the auditor do? He should not accept this kind of a limited engagement. Case number 3, if there is a change in terms, then you have to ask for reasonable justification. If the reasonable justification is there, you will be accepting. If the reasonable justification is not there, you will not be accepting the engagement. What is the meaning of reasonable justification? If there is a change in circumstance, or if there is a misunderstanding of the original service which is requested, then you will be calling that as reasonable justification. Is that clear? Yes. 3 cases done. The last one is recourse for the auditor in a situation of non-agreement to a change in terms of engagement. Now, auditor and client, they are making the terms. This is your duties of client. This is duties of auditor. Like this, they have 10 duties of client, 10 duties of auditor. Possible? Yes. They are agreeing for this. After few days, auditor is feeling that client needs to be added with 5 more duties. What is the auditor feeling? Client needs to be added with 5 more duties. Is the client going to accept? What is he going to say? Get out of my office! What are you thinking? Today you will say 5 more. Tomorrow you will say 10 more. You think I'm a fool to keep signing all of these things? You can't keep increasing my responsibility. Audit, he's not going to accept. Yes or no? Okay. Management did not accept. Auditor understood. Okay, it is wrong on my part to again ask. What I am saying, sir? Okay, sorry. No need these 5 more duties. Let us continue like this itself. Now what client is doing? He is very, very angry. Hey, what continue? You will say add 5 more duties, then continue. I cannot do anything. He is not agreeing for anything. That means auditor is asking for changes. He is not agreeing for that. Then auditor is saying, okay, we'll go for original engagement itself. For that also he is not agreeing. Means what can auditor do? What should he do? He cannot do anything. That only recourse for the auditor in a situation of non-agreement to change in terms of engagement and lack of permission to continue the original audit engagement also. Original audit engagement also I am not able to continue. New one which I proposed also I am not able to continue. In that case, the only way is to come out of this engagement. Withdraw from the audit engagement. Never we should stay in these toxic places. Just withdraw from the engagement. Solo we can be happy. What is wrong in that? Withdraw from the audit engagement. Determine whether there is any obligation, either contractual or otherwise, to report to the owners, those charged with governance, or the regulators. Why are they saying you have to report to owners or those charged with governance or regulators. Because in the client's place, there will be somebody called as manager. That manager would have irritated you like anything. That manager will not allow you to continue the engagement also. That manager will not allow you to go for the additional responsibilities also. Because of that, you are going to withdraw. Now, because of that stupid management, you are withdrawing from this engagement. Pavam, those charged with governance people, they are not involved in the day-to-day operations. They need to be informed as to what is happening in the company. Yes or no? So you have to determine whether there is a obligation, either contractual or otherwise. Contractual obligation means definitely you have to say it, or otherwise you feel like you need to inform and then get out. Most of the times, whenever you break up also, you will not ghost the other person. Yes or no? You will inform, okay, this is not setting between you and me. You and me will be best friends after this. Friend zone, bro zone. Like that you will be doing. Yes or no? Yes or no? Ma'am, what you are talking, I am not even understanding, ma'am. This is out of syllabus for all CA students. No boyfriend, no girlfriend. How many of you all have the boyfriend? No one? Girlfriend? Very waste. From now I will change the examples. No need boyfriend, girlfriend. You know, best example, relatable example, food example. Everyone are relating to that. This boyfriend, girlfriend, pavam CA students. It is all looking at Greek and Latin for you all. So sad. Recourse for the auditor in a situation of non-agreement to change in terms of engagement or to continue the original audit engagement. In that case, what should the auditor do? Withdraw from the audit engagement or determine whether there is an obligation, whether it is contractual or otherwise. He will be reporting to owners, TCWG or regulators. Is that clear, guys? These are the 4 cases. Quickly, let's go through only the 4 cases. What happens if preconditions are not present? If preconditions are present, you will be accepting the engagement. If preconditions are not present, you will be seeing whether it is required by law or not. If it is required by law, you will be accepting the engagement. If it is not required by law, you will be rejecting the engagement. Case number 2, limitation on scope of audit prior to the acceptance. Then what will you do? You know that you are going to give a disclaimer of opinion because there is going to be a limitation on the scope of your audit. You will not be able to get sufficient appropriate audit evidence. In that case, you will not be accepting a limited engagement. What is case number 3? Change in terms of audit engagement. Whenever there is change in terms of audit engagement, directly don't get angry and go for divorce and all. You ask for reasonable justification. If reasonable justification is there, you will be accepting. If reasonable justification is not there, you will be rejecting. Now, what is the meaning of reasonable justification? Change in circumstances or misunderstanding. In these 2 cases, you will call that as reasonable justification. What is case number 4? Recourse for auditor in a situation of non-agreement to continue the old one or the new one. In that case, what will you do? We will withdraw. When you are withdrawing, whether there is a contractual obligation or otherwise, to inform the owners, TCWG or any regulators, you will have to see, are you all clear with the 4 cases? Very important. That's why I spent a lot of time here with so many examples. Is that clear? Now the last part. This is recurring audit. What is the meaning of recurring? Recurring means something happening again and again and again. Vanda sutta setta repeat. Vanda sutta setta repeat. Vanda sutta setta repeat. Same thing again and again and again. They'll be showing in the movie. We will also watch that movie and say super movie, super acting. Yes or no? That is recurring. Recurring means something keeps repeating again and again and again. Recurring audit means what? Audit keeps repeating. Audit is happening over the years. Now going to the text of recurring audit. Terms of engagement in recurring audit. Recurring audit is an audit which is performed by an auditor over years together. On recurring audit, the auditor will assess whether circumstances require the terms of audit engagement to be revised and whether there is a need to remind the entity of existing terms of audit engagement. Most of the times what will happen, the engagement letter in practical scenario, It will be signed in the first year. There will be lot of effort taken for the engagement letter to understand each person's responsibilities. Multiple meetings will happen. Once the engagement letter is framed, it is signed. EL will be made for 1 year. For the second year, they will just make an addendum for that EL saying same rules apply. Again sign. That's it. They will not again invest the time, energy, effort. They will not do all of those things. So, whenever there is a recurring audit, usually in these cases, that is 8 cases are given, in these 8 cases, you will be revising the terms of the engagement. What are the 8 cases where you can revise the terms of the engagement? First one, indication that entity misunderstands the objective and scope of audit. Now, here what happened? Vessel washing team means he misunderstood. How he misunderstood? That weekly once only he is going to wash the vessels. He misunderstood. Now, what you are going to tell him? No, 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 not weekly once and all. You have to wash the vessels whenever I put the vessels. That means what? 3 times I will be cooking, so 3 times you should be washing the vessel. Now he is saying, oh, if I knew this, I wouldn't have accepted for this itself. Cooking itself is better for me. He is saying like that. Now you are saying, okay, no problem, then you do the cooking, I will do the vessel washing. Now he misunderstood. Now you are changing the terms of the engagement. That is the first one. Indication that an entity misunderstands the objective and scope of audit. If it is like that, you can revise the terms of audit engagement. Is that clear? Any revised or special terms of audit engagement. Now you are doing the cooking, he is washing the vessels. Now, what you are doing, you just took the kadai, you kept on stove, you never used it. Instead of keeping inside, what you did, you threw it for vessel washing team. Now again you are taking the spoon, you are using for salt. You can keep in salt box itself, but what you are putting for vessel washing team. Unnecessarily, so many vessels you are giving there. Is it necessary? No. So what is happening? They will get angry. So what he is saying, I will be in vessel washing team, you be in cooking team, no issues. But let us have a limit. You should use only 2 kadais per meal. Only 1 cooker per meal. 1 meal you are doing and giving me 5 cookers means how is that even justifiable? Like that, you are doing a revision or special terms you are adding to the engagement here. Now the existing engagement only, existing responsibilities only, but specially you are saying only 2 kadais. Only 1 cooker only, no, you are keeping the rice, so only 1 cooker should come. Like that, special terms are added to the initial engagement. That is the second one. In a company, one person signs the engagement letter, yes, and for the auditor, the engagement partner signs the engagement letter. Now, when there is a problem, this engagement letter acts as a shield. You go to the client and say, listen here, you only signed this. You should follow this. He is saying, I signed this. See, who signed this? Then you are seeing another person who was in that place as CEO, CFO, he left the organization. This is a new CEO, new CFO who has come. So he is saying, I did not sign this. Why should I follow this? Even though the previous person signs it, this person does not know or this person is not willing to follow it. There is a change in the senior management, or if there is a change in ownership, or there is a change in nature of size or entity's business. Why the size of entity's business matter? Let me tell you small example for this. Say, what's your textile girl? Shweta Leah. Where is she? Oh, last. Shweta Leah Silks revenue right now is 20,000 rupees. New company, right? 20,000 rupees. Only one saree sold. Who wants to do practice? In the future, I want to do practice. What's your name? Vasu. Now this Vasu is being appointed for this Shweta Leah 6 for 20,000 rupees. How much fees you will quote, Vasu? Revenue is 20,000. How much fees you will quote? 5,000 rupees fees. Okay, fine. Now Shweta Leah Silks, I told you, she is doing very good marketing for that. She is also going for all the shows. She is wearing that sari and going. Looking at that, suddenly two zeros got added here. Now, what is the revenue for her? 20 lakhs has become Shwetalya Silk's revenue. Will you still do your work for 5,000 rupees? No, because when you accepted for 20,000 rupees, there was only one invoice. Only one invoice to verify. Yes or no? So you thought, okay, Pavam, my friend, same class. I am in first row. She is in last row. No problem. 5,000 I will accept. But now she got 20 lakhs of revenue. Now you want to change the engagement letter. That's why change in nature or change in size of the entity's business will want you to revise the terms of the audit engagement. A change in legal or regulatory requirements. Say, for example, right now accounting standards and Ind AS is prevalent in India. Yes? Say in the future, they are saying Ind AS 2030. This must be adopted for all the companies. They are saying like that. Now you will be putting lots of efforts to learn about this Ind AS 2030. Yes or no? So at that time also you will ask for extra fees. Oh, normal Ind AS na this much fees. Ind AS 30, okay, add one zero. Like that you will ask for extra fees. So change in legal or regulatory requirements. Change in the financial reporting framework adopted in the preparation of financial statements or any other reporting requirements. If there is a change, then you will be revising the terms. And sometimes you can just remind them about the terms. When there is a change in senior, change in ownership and all, you can just show the engagement letter, previous engagement letter, remind them of that terms. You also sign here, sir, so that I will be safe. Like that also you can ask him. So you can revise the terms or remind the terms also. Is that clear? This is with recurring audit. In 8 cases, you can revise the terms. What are the 8 cases? That entity misunderstands the objective and scope. Any revision or special terms of audit engagement is involved. Reason: change in ownership, change in senior management, change in nature, change in size of the entity, change in legal or regulatory requirements, change in financial reporting framework, or change in any other reporting framework. All of you together, all the 8 points. Let me write it here so that it will be easy for you to remember. First one is misunderstands. Revised or special terms are added. Change in senior management, change in ownership or nature or size. Change in legal or regulatory requirements, financial reporting framework or other reporting requirements. Easy. Actually, how many points are there? Are there 8 points? No. There are only 4 points actually. Now is it looking small? First you saw, oh, essay 210 itself we have to complete. But small pieces if you study, becomes very easy. Those 4 cases, actually easy to score or not? Very easy to score if they ask in exam. This also, recurring audit also they can ask. It's been a long time since they asked. They can ask recurring audit also. Recurring audit is an audit which is performed by an auditor over the years. Now, in what cases can you revise the terms of audit engagement or will you want to remind the entity? First one, misunderstands the scope. All of you together, the first one, misunderstands the scope. Second, any revised or special terms of audit engagement. Third, there is a change in senior management, change in ownership, change in nature or size of the entity. Last one, change in legal or regulatory requirements, change in financial reporting framework, change in other reporting frameworks. That's all. Easy points, correct? Going to the mind mapping again. We saw the objective of the auditor with respect to SA 210. What is the objective? Accept or continue. Very, very good. Accept or continue an audit engagement only when there are preconditions and when there is a common understanding. What is a precondition common understanding? For the preparation of financial statements, whether it is in accordance with AFRF, for such internal control, whether it enables the preparation of the financial statements, to provide the auditor with access to all information, access to additional information, and unrestricted access to all the people. Second, we saw engagement letter. Who prepares the engagement letter? Auditor. To whom the engagement letter is given? Who signs the engagement letter? Both auditor and client will be signing the engagement letter. Engagement letter must always be in written format only. It should be reduced to writing. Anything else we saw in EL? Engagement letter includes inclusive list. We saw objective and scope, responsibility of auditor, responsibility of management, identification of applicable financial reporting framework, and reference to the form and content of the report given by the auditor. Clear? Then we went to case studies. 4 case studies. Preconditions itself is not there, means you will be seeing whether law or regulation ask you. If preconditions is there, you will be accepting. If the law and regulation says, yes, you have to do this, you will accept. If law or regulation is not there and precondition also not there, means you will go for rejection. Second case, what did we see? Limitation on scope prior to acceptance. What you will do? If you know that you are going to give a disclaimer of opinion, that means you are not going to get the appropriate audit evidence, then you will reject the engagement. Change in terms of audit engagement. Directly divorce, or what will you see? You have to see for reasonable justification. What is the meaning of reasonable justification? What is the meaning? Changes in circumstances, or the client has misunderstood the initial engagement. In those cases, you will call that as reasonable justification. If there is a reasonable justification, then you will accept the engagement. If there is no reasonable justification, then you will be rejecting the engagement. Is that clear? Case number 4, recourse for the auditor when he is not able to revise the engagement or to continue with old engagement also. He cannot do anything. He will only withdraw from the engagement. When he is withdrawing, directly can he just tata bye bye and go? He has to inform. See whether he has to do it contractually or otherwise. To whom? Owners, TCWG, or regulators. Is that clear? The last part we saw what is recurring audit. Audit which happens over the years and the auditor is involved with the client for multiple years. In few circumstances we saw that he has to either remind the client or go for revising the engagement letter. What are the cases? The first one, misunderstanding. The second one, revised or any special terms has been added. Third, there is a change in ownership, change in senior management, or change in nature or size. Fourth, there is change in legal or regulatory framework, change in financial reporting framework, or any other reporting framework. Is that clear? SA 210, easy standard. Very, very easy standard, correct? SA 200 easy or 210 easy? 210 is very easy. It was interesting also because lots of boyfriend, girlfriend, fighting, breakup, divorce. So 210 is easy. Yes, shall we do the summary notes tomorrow? Yeah?